Welcome to Vintage SF. I'm Richard Rempel. Today we're going to return to crown classics of modern science fiction. The first book I read in this series was The Paradox Men by Charles Harness. This was the 7th volume in the series. You can find a link to that review in the description for this video. Today we're going to take a look at the first volume, Men, Martians and Machines by Eric Frank Russell. This is a fix-up novel of 4 short stories. 3 of them were published in the 1940s during World War II in Astounding magazine. The 4th one was created for the book form, which was published in 1955. The Crown SF Classics edition that I was reading is from 1984. I want to briefly talk about each of the 4 stories, and then I want to talk about the influence this novel had on culture, including Star Trek and a heavy metal band. Eric Frank Russell was a UK author who often was mistaken for an American author because he made many sales to astounding science fiction. He lived from 1905 to 1978. One of my earlier videos was a review of his novel Wasp. You can find a link in the description to this video. And now to Men, Martians and Machines. The first story is J Score. It is a disaster in space tale with a ship plummeting towards the sun. It focuses on the emergency pilot named J Score. We learn about the diverse crew, including a black surgeon and Martians. These Martians are multi-tentacled and love the game of chess. They're sealed off in another portion of the ship as they enjoy a different air pressure from humans. Remember, these stories were written in the 1940s, so it was really great to see a black surgeon included. Will they survive their dangerous dive towards the sun? Can J Score, the emergency pilot, rescue them? Well, I think you can guess the answer to that because there's 3 more stories. But the most enjoyable part of this story is the last couple paragraphs where we realize something new about a crew member. The next 3 stories have this same crew on a new ship called the Marathon. It's powered by something called the Flettner Drive, which can instantaneously take them to another star. These 3 stories are visits to 3 different planets around 3 different stars. The names to these chapters will indicate the kind of life or threat they'll face on each planet. First, we're taken to Mechanistria. This is a planet of machines. Being machines, they see the Marathon and his crew as a threat. But they react in machine-like ways. There is a logic to their actions. The next planet is Symbiotica. So I think you can see the root for that word is symbiosis. It's a planet with plant people. And the last story is called Mesmerica. The root here, mesmerizing. This is a story of a planet with people of telepathy. Each story has its peril, often crew members who are taken by those of the planet. There is a mystery to be solved and an escape from the planet. There's a team-like quality to each of these stories as the different abilities of the crew members come through to rescue them all. One feature of this novel which was unexpected to me was its sense of humor. I'm going to give you a few examples from the stories. The first one is from the mechanical planet, Mechanistria. They're exploring the planet and they haven't discovered any mechanical forms yet. The emergency pilot J Score is leading them. "Shut up," snapped J Score authoritatively. He started off toward the setting sun, his long, agile legs working as though intent on circumnavigating the globe. The radio swung easily from one powerful hand. We followed in single file. In 10 minutes, he was half a mile ahead and waiting for us to catch up. "Remember, long brother, we're only flesh and blood," complained Brennan as we reached the emergency pilot's huge, efficient figure. "Not me," denied Cly Yang. He's one of the Martians. "Thank Rava, my kind are not made of so sickening a mess." He emitted a thin whistle of disgust, made swimming motions with his tentacles through the air 4 times as thick as that of Mars. "I could row a boat." There was this type of back and forth between the crew where there was very funny statements like this made. And then there was some of the language that Russell used that just made me laugh. From page 42, talking about the mechanical beings on the planet. "They've got rocket ships. They decapitate lobsters, and in all probability they're instinctively hostile towards strangers. I can see them offering us a big tentacle, yes, right in the masticatory orifice." Masticatory orifice? Continuing. Hope for the best rather than expect the worst, advised McNulty. He gazed around at his crew, then at the sleek shape of the Marathon. Besides, we're a lot faster than anything limited to a mere solar system, and we know how to take care of ourselves. He patted his needle ray significantly. I'd never seen our plump and amiable skipper look so tough. He had a most disarming habit of understating his sentiments, but at the right time and in the right place, he could be a very hard egg. Further into the chapter, they're captured, of course. Now the machines don't take away their weapons, so they try to see if they can cut into the floor. They disable the machine, but they're high up off the ground, and another machine starts to tow the machine that's disabled. We're being towed. If I were sure that nothing is following close upon us, he let it hang a minute, then finished, "Hey, sit on my legs while I get my head through and have a look." "No, you don't," snapped McNulty. "We're moving much too fast to risk a drop. We stay together and face events together." So we sat on the floor, wistfully watching the circle of light, our backs to the cold, hard walls. Somebody dug out an airtight can of cigarettes, opened it, handed it around. We smoked in glum silence. It always gets me when crew members of Starship start smoking. They just happen to bring their airtight can of cigarettes along. The next example comes from Symbiotica, the planet of the plant people. This is a rescue mission as one of their people are stuck high in a plant. Gesturing toward the golden cylinder that was the Marathon lying 500 yards away in the glade, Wilson said, "The more time we waste, the worse it's going to get. Let's beat it back, get ropes and steel dogs. We'll soon bring him down." "No," I decided. "We'll get him a darn sight faster than that." I stamped around a few times to check the springiness and cushioning qualities of the stuff underfoot. Satisfied, I aimed my needle ray at the point where Jepson's leaf joined the end of its branch. Watching me, he let out a bellow of, "Lay off, you crack-brained moron! You'll have me!" The needler's beam lanced force at full strength. The leaf dropped off, and the tree went mad. Jepson fell 25 feet at the incredible rate of 2 vulgar adjectives per foot. The leaf still fastened to his back, he landed in the undergrowth with a wild yelp and a flood of lurid afterthoughts. While we all lay flat and frantically tried to bury ourselves still deeper, the tree thrashed violently around, its gum-laden spatulates, thirsting for vengeance. That dropping 2 vulgar adjectives per foot was unexpected and hilarious. So you can see there is a real camaraderie between the crew. This made me think about Star Trek, the original series. Many people say that Star Trek was greatly influenced by The Voyage of the Space Beagle by A.E. Van Vogt, but I found those stories to be very serious. I think the voyages of the Marathon are more an influence for Star Trek. The diversity of the crew, the banter, and even the red shirts. I haven't talked about those, but each mission seemed to have some red shirts in the crew, but it was never a major crew member. Another influence that this book had in our society is that there is a song on Gamma Ray's album titled Men, Martians and Machines. I've looked at the lyrics, and they don't really match any of the stories in the book, but it is a very interesting song. I'll put a link in the description to this video. Men, Martians and Machines was a lot of fun. It's a short book with just 4 stories. If you like the original Star Trek, I think you'll really enjoy this book. I give it 7.5 out of 10. I look forward to reading more Eric Frank Russell. Very curious to see if more of his stories and novels are funny like this one. How about you? Have you read Eric Frank Russell? Let me know some of your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep reading.